I think one of the bigger impacts of this election is going to be what the tax plan is going to be. I think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have laid out their tax plan, which is obviously going to change the current plan that Trump put in. The corporate tax rate is set to go up. Various other tax measures set to go increase. I think this is going to be the biggest impact. I think the investment community, as an investor, you want continuity in what the anticipated taxes are going to be on any kind of corporate affairs you're running in the U.S. This calls into question like whether or not, because first of all, whether or not Biden get the tax plan through Congress and it gets approved, in the next 4 years. So there's a question there. So like, if you're planning out your years, are you going to be under the Trump tax plan? Are you going to be under the Biden plan? You're not sure when that switch will happen. So I think that creates a lot of the, issues. And when you're as an investor who's planning on the corporate thing. Now, obviously, we're going to see a lot more people going the safer route. Offshoring will probably be continuing. The Trump tax cuts had previously brought in more business back into the U.S. because the corporate tax was reduced, but we might see some of that shifting.
I mean, the biggest thing you need to do is you got to get the COVID under control so people feel safe going out and about. And I think we missed a real chance to create a national pandemic response like division, sort of like after we had 9/11 attacks, they created the Homeland Security. They could have created some kind of national response plan. Because I mean, this is, a somewhat deadly disease, but there could be far worse. They could be like smallpox level, fatality rates. So I mean, I think if you could create a much better cohesive pandemic response, I think that would go a long way to helping the economies. Yeah, for me, it's not really, doesn't really matter that much. Because what I do is grocery anchored shopping centers, and people need to eat whether Trump's president or Biden's president. So,
like other economies in the world and other countries around the world, the GCC countries, including Kuwait, have been affected from the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Revenue of airlines in GCC region is to decline by about 55% in 2020. The number of flights in the Middle East region as well had reached their lowest point in April 2020, dropping about 92% relative to January 2020. Teaching online was a complete new experience for a lot of us. The teachers find themselves in a situation that they are obligated to move their classes online right away without having additional training, actually. And they have to use like numerous digital tools to deliver e-learning. Some people, they hate technology. They don't like to use, especially old people. So many schools and universities as well, they were not prepared for moving classes online. So the burden is put on teachers to adapt themselves and their students to a new way of learning. But of course, we received actually unlimited support from our institutions. I'm talking at least about my institution, American University of Kuwait. They supported us to large extent in this experience.
My fund is called LS Tactical Alpha Fund. We are under H Capital umbrella, fully licensed under MAS in Singapore. And what we do mainly, there are three main areas of focus. First one, our flagship fund is a Credit Opportunities Fund, focusing on ASEAN area and Asia. And also there is Equity Opportunities Fund, ranging from special situation to smart beta. And also lastly, but not least, private equity and real estate opportunities. That's what my fund, the LS Tactical Alpha, is focusing on. In the last 30 years, they have been lurched from one crisis to another. In recent times, from Asian financial crisis of 1997 to 98, to various other economic and political crises in various countries. We investing and operating in Asia embrace this crisis as opportunity to find unique opportunities to deliver best returns to on our investment, given our strong entrenched presence by our various professionals on the ground in various countries and cities. And Admiral Cheng He, of course, I think you guys are familiar with him, who is actually a court eunuch and also a Muslim of Ming Dynasty. The purpose is always trade and never military conquest as China's mission. It would be imperative for all of us to comprehend that China has awoken and its right to challenge US inevitably. However, China, like all Asian countries in general, as before, and is always more interested in trade and economic growth pursuit rather than military goal.